Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalping seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game. Pivots turn, I'm locked and sure. Cut the losses, keep it pure. Every trend, I see the clues. I'll ride the highs and dodge the blues. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Eyes locked on the glowing screen. Numbers flash like a fever dream. Charts align like stars in space. Fingers twitch, it's a digital race. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision move, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Scalping seconds, slicing fast. Ride the wave, don't let it pass. Green and red, they set the tone. Win or lose, I'm in the zone. Trade the dots, connect the line. Profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, sharp and clean. Living life on this money machine. Every tick's a heartbeat loud. High stakes play, I'm feeling proud. Risk and thrill, it's all the same. One more trade to up my game.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I have a really interesting show today. We're going to try to do something unique and interesting. We're going to trade trend only across all instruments in just a couple of varieties of trend strategies using dots that I think might be more palatable to some of you. And definitely, I think is an interesting add-on to a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. So as a result of just trading trend only, I have configured my dots structure to basically show me only. First of all, I took off Christmas tree trades altogether. We're just going to look at label trades and dot trades. I'm going to explain to you why. But as far as label direction, I put myself into trend only here. And you're not going to see any buys when the trend is below, when the short-term trend is below the long-term trend. You're not going to see any sells when the short-term trend is above. That's going to just simply anchor your eye, make it a lot easier to look at trades as we are trading. But then the second thing we're going to do, which is kind of interesting, is we're going to trade trend in counter trend, or trade counter trend in trend. What I mean by that is we're going to, when we're in an uptrend, we're going to try to buy the purple dots. And when we're in a downtrend, we're going to try to sell the white dots. Now, that's not always going to work. Sometimes you're going to get stuffed. But, especially if the slope is mildly positive, certainly if the slope is positive, buying the buying the purple dots in a positive slope, or selling the white dots. I'm sorry, I gave you the right. Selling the white dots in a negative slope is going to be an interesting structure. It doesn't always work in a tight little formation like we have now over the last hour. It can be a little treacherous. But I'm going to add on a couple of interesting twists to the structure. First of all, I'm going to trade 7 points to 20 points, and I'm going to do that across all the instruments. So, like in gold, I'm going to risk 8 points against 25. In Dow, I'm actually going to try to keep it at 1030. So here's gold, by the way. Here's gold giving me a white I'm going to sell market here. So I sold gold because this is a retrace dot in a downtrend. Everybody sees it's a downtrend. Short is below the long. And here's the twist that I'm going to add to it. I'm going to, because I have an expansion, and because it's a retrace trade, I'm actually going to trade with a average in position. So I'm in right now at where am I now? What is this? I'm at 116. Here's my position. I'm in at 19.1, right? And I'm going to, sorry, just 1 second. Trish, I'm in a webinar. Marsha's there. Okay. Please let her do her thing. Okay. Bye. Yeah, sorry. So hopefully this is going to work. But what I was going to say is, in a retrace mode, and actually even sometimes in a trend mode, what we're going to try and do is expand our level. We're going to expand our level of stops to give us more room generally, but give us a better blended price to be able to resolve the trade. Sorry, guys. Everybody's messaging me during the webinar, so I'm just trying to answer everybody. Very, very important to kind of understand what I'm trying to do here is you'll see. What's going to happen is we're going to give ourselves much, much better risk-reward ratios with hopefully a higher rate of resolution on each one of these. It doesn't mean that every one of these is going to work, but the structure is going to be very interesting. The most important part is we're really going to focus on trading trend directional trades only, right? The retrace trade right now is kind of a very, very interesting trade because, as you'll see, that's something that I just noticed could work really, really well within our structure of dots. That does two things. It generally gives us a better price entry, and then also allows us to average up into a better price entry if we are in a position. And obviously, it fails completely if it's a V-shaped recovery. But V-shaped recoveries are kind of rare. And here you go. We are the first trade of the day resolves positively, right? So let's go. We'll just trade Nasdaq and gold this way today. Actually, I really want to trade the YM too. So let's let's do this. We'll just put YM over here, and I'll just and we'll just try to manage this ourselves. So on the YM, we want to, what I want to do is, I'm gonna create a new bracket order for YM. Those of you who are watching, watch how I do this. We're gonna go to market, 10 ticks, stop loss, 30 ticks. Save this, save order 10 by 30. Oops. Oh, right. It says cancel. I want to. $10 by 30. Okay, save. So here we go. Let's buy this because we actually have a buy signal here, a trend signal in the Dow, and we're gonna play this exact same way. Let's just focus. Let's just do a Dow trade right now for shits and giggles. So the Dow trade I would do. We're in at 30. If we come down to 20, I'm gonna add to the position. We're going to hold the whole position at 301 as our stop. We're going to give that. And we're going to resolve it if it goes back up to the original position, right? This particular instrument is not quite like in the Dow. I probably should have this at, I'm trying to figure this out, probably 1230, maybe, because if, what I really want to do is just do a little bit better than 1 to 3. Let me just see if what's 30 divided by 12? It's 2.5. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because then what I want to do is 7 divided by 20. No, or 20 divided by 7. 2.85. Yeah. We'll make it. It's 31. We'll do it 43. In the settings, you go into, it's not in wealth charts because maybe it is in wealth charts. I'm not sure. And by the way, the key retrace entry is the white dot, not the green dot. Like if you have a green dot in a downtrend, that's already showing you positive momentum. So you're looking to short what may appear to be a false move, which is this move over here, the retrace move. That's why you always want to looking for a white dot to short or a purple dot to buy in trends. Let me see if I can do this. Well, let me show you first in here. What we want to do to create just a trend only structure, we want to trade Christmas tree. Oh, in this particular case, in the Christmas tree, what I want to do is I want to show off. No labels on Christmas tree. Then on pause trade labels, I want to show only, trend only. Label direction, trend only. It'll show me both buys and sells, but it'll only show me trend only. So you want to do two settings, trend only, and you want to turn off the Christmas trees. Just because it's not, want to, so here we go. Here we're getting a purple a purple dot, right? A retrace dot in our trade. Let's see if my thesis holds up on here. 31.29 seconds. When this thing comes down to its close, I want to be a buyer of this trade, because that will give me like a second trade that averages me in to hopefully a good position. I shouldn't have bought this buy trade because as I said to you, well, no, I guess it's true, because this was the first buy in a green set. No, it's fine. It's fine. I could have bought this. So, okay, so let's do this. 3, 2, 1. I'm long this Dow trade. I'm long over here, right? Let's put our stops over here, and now let's move our sells over here, and let's see if we can resolve this trade. On a positional basis. This we can kill. So we're in here. Oh, and we have a similar purple trade here, and I want to do this 720 buy over here. Okay, so I'm in like 71, right? I bought 71. It's got to come down to 61 in order for me to average in my position, and I'm going to hold my stop at 51. It's much easier to kind of see this on NASDAQ, which is the one that I really trade this structure on. But the point is that you're trying to do two things. You're always trying to stay in trend, which means we're always trying to buy at value. In this case, it's kind of a buy at value idea within trend. Of course, trend can fail, and the trades fail. But the premise here is that you have a much higher probability of obviously trading with trend, and then also that the trend will sustain itself long enough for you to resolve most of your trades. That's really the underlying thesis here as it goes. Right now, we have a mild uptrend in NASDAQ and a still pretty well, from 8 o'clock. So I guess it's like an hour-long trend in the Dow. Whether it holds, remains to be seen, but we'll see what it does. Everybody got the settings on the indicator and how that works? Good morning, everybody. I'm throwing everybody into a new structure at the choppiness of market open. Which means we could be in income a little bit of ugliness when we start trading, but that's fine. The point being is I want to focus today strictly on trend-based setups. Now today could be one of those days where we literally don't have any trend and it's just all chop city, and then that sucks. Or maybe my thesis is going to bear itself out. Overall, when I was trading overnight, there's a really good structure, and it was a nice, clean way of trading. It's basically, in many ways, this is a way to give you better probability resolution because you're taking more than one trade within a given range of trend. And number two, it's a way to kind of keep you disciplined on trading trend-only structures, which, for the most part, is what's really going to work on a short-term basis, right? I mean, on a the interesting part, ironically enough, is if you think about this, we have multiple instances of half an hour to an hour to 2 hour trends, right? Which means we have multiple instances of trend directionality on a short-term basis. That's actually the irony of scalping. Scalping is a lot more trend-based than longer-term trades where you could have up and down movements for weeks on end. But on a micro level, there tends to be some continuity. It's very rare. I mean, it happens. It doesn't not always happen, but it happens where we get 2-3 hours of 20-point ranges. But generally, if you sort of assume that every hour is a 30-40 point move, that is well beyond the limits of profit, well within the limits of profit for all of our trading, right? So, what I'm actually using is a 720 in terms of points. I know it's a little bit confusing. I just put it in points, which is 28 No, shit. Yeah, 28 against 80. It's 28 against 80. It's a little bit better R&R. And then when I'm able to average into it, it gives me even a better R&R. You know, most of the time. What happened to my? Didn't I? I'm long 2. Where's my? Why does it say I'm long 1? Oh, I'm long 2. Okay. So the proper thing that I should be actually anchoring off is 320. My stop probably should be at around 90 on this thing. Because the thing is, I kind of mixed and matched 2 trades here. I mixed a buy label trade and a retrace trade over here, which kind of was stupid on the Dow. Now I'm a little bit. Let's do this properly. Let's come back down to 90 on the stop, and let me see if I can just get the second entry in. All right, so I'm in at second entry, and this is my exit. I'm just going to have to exit everything out pretty much flat because I kind of screwed up this trade. I really want to. I think what I want to do is maybe would trade. Okay, we'll come back here. So the idea was I want to buy here at 20. I want to buy here at 10. And I want to try to resolve everything at around 20, okay, on a retrace trade, which is where, which is kind of where I really want to be on my Dow. But the first trade kind of screwed me up on the buy label. It should have been a separate kind of a trade here. The other interesting thing that I sort of wanted to tell you is that if we're sort of trading the first buy label in trend, what's really, really cool about all the purple dots, which is the retrace dots in uptrend, or all the white dots, which is retrace dots in the downtrend, is that we actually have multiple opportunities after that. The whole idea was, I was like, we want to restrict ourselves to the best, best buy signal, which is the first signal in trend, right? That's always really the best buy signal in trend. But then if you do that, you can then add on all of your, basically, think about it this way. We take the first breakout signal, which is this one, and then we just trade the retrace signals, retrace signal, retrace signal, retrace signal over here as our continuity trades. That gives us better entries because retrace signal by definition is going to let us buy value, going to buy it low, and then we can average down even lower. That's sort of like the idea of what I'm trying to do here with all of this stuff. Although, obviously as I am experimenting, it's always going to be a little bit of a clusterfuck. But my idea is kind of, let's stick to just one single trade structure and practice that particular structure. Like this was a very, very clean. This was really the first trade we took, which is a very, very clean event. It was negative trend, retrace trade over here. We took it, boom. It worked like a charm, right? Now, where are my trade opportunities here? It would be if I had a white dot, if I had a retrace dot over here in a downtrend, I would take a second position, right? And again, as I said, the only thing that destroys that setup is a pure V-shaped recovery, which happens, of course. Of course, they all happen. Or a V-shaped upside down V to the downside. They all happen that way as trend begins to fail. But if you were sort of trading from the this time onward, the trend, the positive trend here, you basically had. Wait, sorry. Why is this? Oh, I'm sorry. This is not properly set up. Is it this one? Okay, I'm going to go in here. No. Sorry. Yeah. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm getting confused. This was negative trend. I was like, why is this showing me sell labels? Yes. Sorry, it's hard to see on this big chart. This was positive trend, and all of the purple buys were actually very, very good buys until it kind of died out. But even if you bought this one, you're buying 91, your stop was 71 right over here. If you bought the 61, you bought 91, you bought the 81 over here, you were able to resolve the whole trade, pretty much a break even over here on this particular position. But trading, the first buy breakout and then the retrace trades really gave you much better probability structures than just trading pure momentum trades by themselves. We'll see. You see the Dow barely trying to climb my way to there it is, and I actually look at this. I was able to. This was a screwed the pooch trade that I was able to resolve, modestly positive. But the point being is I was able to do it because I had this average in structure on value, and I was trading with trend, right? And basically the idea is you want to have the wind at your sails as much as possible. So here I am also trying to trade with trend because I bought this purple retrace move, right? And the idea here is if it comes down to 61, I want to be buying a second position here with holding my my line at 51 on a retrace. But let's see if that works out. Oh, thank you for letting us know today. TradeView has a flash sale, $11.87 a month. So now you can use two-minute time frame. Oh, that's really cool. Yes, I think I actually sent in Caleb. I sent in your things. Now, I believe everybody's been enabled in wealth charts who has them. Now, here's the way to know if you are enabled or not. By the way, just getting a setup here in gold. So gold, we're negative bid, small short-term trend underneath the long-term trend. I'm going to sell this at market here. Okay. Again, I'm going to sell it at market on gold at 19.6, and it gets up to like 24 or more. I'm going to sell a second one, and we're going to hold our our stop at was that 21, 22, basically at 22. And we'll see if my retrace trade structure continues to work for us. So I'm just going to flatten on gold because I second trade that wins for us, because I want to. I wanted to show you because a lot of people are asking me customer support questions, so I want to show you this. So I want you to go to Add Indicators, and on any chart, you go to More Indicators, you go to Boris Schlossberg, and if you don't see this, and you're a member of my coaching, which is right over here, here's my coaching link, right? If you remember, which by the way, coaching coming up on Thursday, right? So if you're a member of my coaching and you don't see this, then send me your email address. Let's just say Wealth Charts. This is my email address. I don't need anything else but your email address, and we will. And I will go back to them to enable it. Right? I don't control the Wealth Charts enablement. Obviously, I control the Trading View. So that's why Trading View gives you access right away. So again. Do you guys want me to? Sandy, did you not send me your? I asked you to send me your TradingView logo. Oh, look at this! While I'm not paying attention, our trade resolved positively, right? Nicely. So we can see this by showing you the executions. hold on a second. Oh, it's 9:30. That's why I was guys. I'm really today. I'm so zoned out. I forgot that we were on the open. So here we are. We bought the retrace at 72. It popped at 78. We got lucky. This is a pure fucking lucky trade because I shouldn't have held this into the open, but it's fine. The point being is I want you just kind of to see the basic structure of where we're at. The key thing that you want to sort of understand. Let me get rid of all the stuff. And guys, here's what I want to do for everybody who's got a tech support question. I know you're messaging me because you think it's very easy to communicate with me now, but it really takes my focus off trading. And so we can do two things. I can do good trading with you. I could trade, or I could do customer support. If you want me to do good trading, your only job is to email me. Okay, you say I have a problem, then just email me that problem. I'll respond to you. But if I start talking to you in chat, it really, really disturbs me. Okay. So please don't do that. Shit, what do I want to do? Oh, I can't even. Where's my thing? I'm trying to get rid of. What happened here? Cancel. I'm trying to get rid of the trading execution marks. Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's do that from now on. The email address is the exact same email address that everybody's had for a million years. contact@bktraders.com. Okay. It's on the website. You did, Sandy? You did it, Sandy? Why? Hold on, Sandy. Now I'm going to feel bad if you didn't, and I didn't mention it. Sandy? Yes. Huh. No. All right, Sandy, what did you do to me? What did you do to me? You emailed me not your TradingView ID. You emailed me your email address. All right. Everybody who wants a TradingView has got to give me your ID. I don't know your ID, and I don't want to go look it up in a database. If you want it done quickly, you have to help me do it quickly for you. Okay. So that's the problem. Know what you need to do. You have a TradingView ID. You say, I have the TradingView ID. Enable me, please, for this particular thing. Then it's done in 1 second. If you make it difficult for me, it's going to be hours, sometimes days, because I don't have time to look shit up. Everybody who's on TradingView, you got to understand that your email, that's not your TradingView ID. Okay? Okay, let's focus on trading. So we exploded back up. Bottom line is NASDAQ up, Dow up, despite all the turmoil around the Fed, which I'm sure you guys have heard. Gold is turning up to maybe a positive trend. So we're going to watch gold and see what it wants to do next. Hey, Michelin, nice to worry. Nice to have you from EU. No problem, Sandy. You know I love you. I'm just yelling at you because I know you can take it. You know, it's what I say I say that to my children that are not sensitive. The ones that are sensitive, I can't do that. But the ones that are not, like my son, I can say the most horrible things to his face, and he's totally cool with it because he'll say the same things to me. But the girls, they're a little different. My son and I, by the way, have actually my son just has the worst habit, because we walk around New York City all the time. Like when he's in the city, we walk around, we're having coffee, we're talking, and we're always just the worst conversations you could possibly imagine. But not only that, they're just so profanity laden. And the problem is that we're both big guys and we're kind of loud, and we always inevitably walking the streets of New York City, and somehow there'll be like some little kid, and my son will say something just really, really, really inappropriate, and then we're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and we just run away, because it's just inevitable that when he says the most disgusting curse, there's always some little kid running around our feet in New York City. We always laugh around about it, but that's okay. New York City kids are all used to it. Oh, look it up. Look what we got here. Purple dot in the Dow, right? So if this holds, it's got to hold, obviously. So the idea of sort of like, what is a purple dot? If you think about this, purple dot is a lower, you're breaking the low of the prior candle, but from a higher point of view, from an elevated point of view. That means that you are in trend, right? You're still in trend. And this is kind of, you can interpret it both ways. It's either a turn of momentum all the way to the downside, or it's actually a beautiful value proposition sell-off that gives us a really good entry into a trend trade. So that's what I'm looking at as a value proposition sell-off into a trend trade, right? Like you can see this over here, guys. Do you see this? You see this on NASDAQ? We're gonna do NASDAQ for this particular cycle, just to show you the structure, and also because I can only do like one signal at a time. So at NASDAQ, I'm going to trade 28 ticks by 80 ticks. That's a 7 by 20 points. I know. I'm sorry to confuse you on the structure. See, I just did it from my own internal self. I'll change it. My favorite child. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a politically incorrect statement? Okay, we're buying this retrace. I'm in. So now I'm in at one position. So, and if it comes down to, I bought 77, right? The stop is going to be, what did I buy it at? It's kind of hard to see. I bought 79, and if it comes down to 69, I'm going to buy a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to buy more. Right. So now I'm probably going to get stuffed, because this is probably not a it looks like it's just completely reversal trade on the market open, which it happens. But if I don't, I'm going to have a reasonable chance of resolving this trade, okay? Because now my blended price is good and my exit price is pretty good, right? So we'll see if the upside trend actually holds, and I can we'll resolve this trade. As I said, yes, the curse of this structure, and that's why you need to understand. Did it work? Oh my God! Wow! Shit. So this all worked. I'm sorry, guys. Again, the key thing about this kind of trade is that's so cool is that you snooze, you lose in terms of structures. So this worked out nicely. So let's just review what we did here. If I go into settings and I go to trading execution labels. So I bought 2 at 72 and sold them at 76. So that is nice clean. That was on 2 contracts. That was like about $1.60 of profit here on this particular trade, right? So where am I? Yeah, 564. Okay, nice. So that was nice clean trades on this idea. And the point is, we're still buying. We're doing nothing but buying in trend, right? We're just buying in trend, right? That's the cool part about it. Let's go look to see what gold is doing. Gold changed to positive trend, and we can actually buy here. Oh shit, let's go buy here. I'm a little bit late on buying here because I should have been buying here. You see that was positive trend, purple dot, and I'm buying here. And that's it. You know, I'm going to be late on my executions here with you guys. Here's the position. Where am I positioned? Where am I in? 24.5 is my target. I'm in at 7. I should have been in at 23.1. I really this trade should have already been done. Frankly, this is if I lose on this trade, it's not because I didn't have the right structure. It's because I'm late on my execution. So as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten out because I'm close enough to my target that I'm going to flatten out. So more money on this particular trade, good for us. Everything working. So that's the setup. And I think you guys will like it. The most important part is, so Wally is kind of summarizing the idea, but that's exactly it. The setup basically is let's take trend trades only today, right? Let's take trend trades only. And within those two structures, the first trend trade we're going to take is a buy or sell momentum label. If that's the first on the initial trend breakout, and then the second trade we're going to take is any kind of a retrace trade, to the downside. So by the way, this is actually a new. Let's go large here. Sorry, settings. I just want to get rid of all the execution marks so you guys can see it. All right, I'm a little bit late here. Would I take this trade? Yes. Let's just do this for shits and giggles. So I'm in this trade. Why am I taking this trade? Because this is the first buy label of this particular positive slope upward momentum, right? So I bought this at, where am I bought this? I don't even know where. The problem is I forgot where I bought it. 16. So I probably should have bought some at 7, but I didn't quite buy it at 7. I should have bought this over here at 7. It dipped. Okay, so let's do this now. Buy this here. Gonna move this over here. Move this over here. Let's see if we can survive this yet another buy signal. So momentum trades are not as good in some ways as the retrace trades in terms of your value structures, but that worked too. You see that worked very, very nicely too. It's really hard to tell because the scale is so big on the charts here, but you guys see me trading, and I picked it up another $150 over here in a very, very fast fashion. And I was able to pick it up. If I held that position from the initial point of view, it's not very clear that I would have been able to pick this up, right? Because the trade could just simply stop me out as it comes back down. I was able to resolve it only because I was able to average into it. But this was a trade that I should have done. Like, this was such an easy trade. This was the Dow purple buying on the bottom. I didn't even have to, average in. This was a pure value proposition trade. Now, let's just kind of see what happens next, because the whole idea is are we going to develop an hour-long trend? If we develop an hour-long trend, that's really what we're looking for at this particular time, right? So it's 9:45. What we really want is an hour-long trend. If we have an hour-long trend, every purple buy trade or white sell trade, if it's a downtrend, is going to work like a charm for us, right? And the first breakout trade is going to work for us. Now, this has already been kind of a very, very choppy market, because you can see that now we only have trend labels on the charts, and they're just oscillating between sells and buys on a very, very narrow range of the 200 SMA, right? Really, really choppy. This is the first kind of expansion of moving average and a first sign that, hey, maybe we have an upside trend here, right? Not quite enough holding our breath, but at least maybe we have an upside trend here. With Dow, we've held the upside trend a little longer. It's been more durable. You've had more than, you had a couple of buy labels, and all the purple labels were incredibly good entries. That's the key thing that's so beautiful about the dot indicator, is if we can just find ourselves in a conducive market environment, the actual signals are incredibly accurate on their entry points. That's it. Just helps us enter at the best possible conditions. Are you guys vibing everything I'm saying? Is everybody kind of following me? So we're doing a lot of trades here, so a little bit hard to follow. So gold, very sort of similar idea that we had the purple dot. Like if I had bought this purple dot at its actual value, which was around 23, remember all I'm looking for is 8 ticks, and it went to like 12, 18 ticks to the upside, right? So it really went nicely. But that's basically the story. What you'll notice is that I've made only buy trades in indices because I was buying trend, and I made buy and sell trades because trend changed in gold. That's the most important part. Yes. If you're buying the purple side or the white side, you're getting a better price within trend. You're making an underlying assumption that this trend is going to last, and as that underlying assumption holds, you're winning because you're resolving all those trades positively. Now the cool thing here is you don't have any purple trades here, right? I mean, we had the purple trade here, which we bought and we resolved. That was nice and clean. We also have this is just market open, so it's really, really noisy price action in Nasdaq. The Dow is a much cleaner price action today, right? Purple trade winner here, purple trade winner here, purple trade winner here, all against the the underlying trend here, right? So as I'm watching right now, we have a purple trade in the Dow, right? We'll see if that works out. Nasdaq is really getting nasty and negative, and it may drag down everything else with it. But the other thing I was going to say is that remember the thing about the Dow that's kind of frustrating is that Dow really retraces a lot. Like whenever we buy the breakout, it's rare that it doesn't really test us really, really hard to the downside. So here I am at 6-7 seconds. I'm going to come in on this purple trade, buy. Okay, so I'm in at 37. My stop is at what the fuck am I? What is my stop here? Oh shit! I'm on the wrong side. Boop 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 boop. Sorry, I'm taking this out. I'm sorry. I had the only problem with TradingView is that when you change your bid asks, it changes everything. I should have bought 1030. That's where I should have been. Anyways, it would have worked perfectly if I bought the 36s. It just went to 57. Either way, I made money on this thing, but I got out right away because I saw that I had the wrong stops and targets. This is the proper stop and target for the Dow. The thing that you need to be very mindful when you're trading TradingView, which you don't have with wealth charts, which is a much better platform. I'm just watching wealth charts right now. Again, indeterminate, right? We have a sell-off in an uptrend, so really not a trade for us. Not a trade for us, so we go back away from gold. But with the Dow, like you see this we bought the value at 35, it popped all the way up to 57. Would have easily made that 10 points that we're looking for. So even if sort of we're wrong, we can be right. I mean, the problem with a lot of momentum trades that we've done is we can be right and be wrong on a trade. And meaning that, we can be right directionally, but wrong because we get stopped out because of volatility. One of the cool things about kind of trading retrace and trend, the way, especially with the dots, is that you can be wrong directionally because we're really not right about the fact that it's an uptrend, but right because we're buying at value and just the small pop takes us out at a positive trade, which is kind of nice. No, you know what, guys? So in order to make sure that you guys can see this, right? You can see it's at 10:30 on the charts, right? You can see this, right? So I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show you a few tricks here. How do you set up your stops and targets on trading view. So I'm going to go over here. I want to over here. We're going to use, trade. This is NASDAQ. And what I want on NASDAQ is a 28, that's a 28 point profit and an 80 tick stop, which is a 20 point stop. I'm going to save this as 28 by 80. This way, everything you see is going to be in tick format. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything else over here. Delete this. Delete this. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically trading, and delete this just because this is the same thing, but this way it won't confuse you. So there's only two things I'm trading here. I am trading 1030 on the Dow and 2880 on NASDAQ. Now I go to gold. On gold, I'm trading 825. Everything is in ticks. Okay, you guys can see this. Can see it on my charts, right? I know it's a little bit hard, but you can zoom in. Everybody can actually see my stops and targets. Correct? Yes, no. Give me some yeses. If I say yes and you don't respond, I assume it's a yes. Okay. So if you can't, you got to respond to me if it's a problem, because I can't read your minds. I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay. So I'm assuming you guys can see it. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you. I really appreciate it when you guys respond to me, because it makes it much, much easier for me to communicate with you, because I'm communicating blindly if you guys don't communicate back. Remember, it's a two. That's why we have chat. You can chat at me as much as you want about strategy structures. That's what I'm here for. Any strategy question, any setup question, anything else you want to do. Here's what else I want to do. I want to show you guys. If you are who does not have an Apex account. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do a hold on. Okay, let me put this. We've never done this poll. I really want to know, do you have an Apex account? Because I want to show you a lot of people. Please answer this poll, guys. I'm actually curious. I know this should be like a 70-30 poll, but please answer. And I'm gonna try and talk to everybody who's a no here in a minute. But give me yes. Yeah, Richard, answer that in the poll. Thank you for answering in chat, but answer it in the poll, because I'm really curious to see the answers in the poll. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, back to uptrend, guys. Back to uptrend. Back to reality, right? Back to positive trends. You see, we managed to survive the uptrend, right? But here's what I wanted to show you. So, if we had the Christmas tree trade, right? This would be the white, green. This would be a Christmas tree. I took it off just to keep our charts very, very clean, not to have as many signals. What I was going to say to you is, if we had this, right? Probably it would have worked, but it also retraced quite a lot, right? Like buying the breakout a lot of times puts you in a, like if you buy, especially in the Dow. The Dow is my favorite example of where buying the breakout almost inevitably leads to first a loss. So we bought the 80s, it went down all the way to 66, right? Whereas buying the breakdown in an uptrend. So basically, we're buying the breakdown in an uptrend, we're buying the breakout in a downtrend. That's kind of how you want to think about it. Generally gives us better posture. That's all we're trying to do, is find a better posture on the thing. Really, you can't see the poll? Oh, Fabio, thanks for reminding me. We are marathon trading tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not CPI. I think it's PCI, right? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is tomorrow's no CPI. It's nothing tomorrow. Oh, no. PC, it's not PCE tomorrow? When's PCE? Let's see. GDP. Why did I think there was PC? Is it PCE on Friday? Yeah. Oh, Friday is PCE. Yeah. Now, tomorrow is like nothing, actually, which kind of is a bummer because, but it doesn't matter. We'll still, I really can't trade marathon on Thursday. So we'll just do marathon on Wednesday. Oh, odd CPI. Who gives a shit about odd CPI, Fabio? We're trading U.S. instruments. Yeah, William. Yeah, PC is on Friday. Yeah. Right. GDP is on Thursday, which would be like a nice, nice thing. Are you guys following the story, by the way, with Lisa Cook? So this becomes a really, really interesting story. Let's take a look and make sure where we're at on the charts here. Okay, let's should we do one more? Let's do one more Dow. We got 43 seconds, and then we'll talk a little bit about Lisa Cook, and then I want to talk about like 81% of you trading Dow. So for the 20% of you that have not opened up an Apex account, I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. And for those of you that have one, I'm going to walk you through to make sure you're doing it correctly. All right, so purple dot. We're watching the Dow, right? If the purple dot doesn't hold, we don't have a trade because you're not really buying value. And it's already kind of a lame ass value because it's not really at the lows of the candle. I really want to buy it at the lows of the candle, but we'll give it a shot. And I want to put a 1030 on this. 2 seconds. I'm a buyer. Right. I'm in this 2838. 08 is a stop. And so no, sorry. I'm in at 38. 8 is a stop. 28 is a buy. 28 is a buy. 28 is another buy for me on the Dow. So we're 33, 34. We get down to around 28. I'm going to take another position at 28 and try to resolve everything at 38 if I can do it. 48 is my target on the Dow. We're just watching this a little bit here. And then then we'll try to get into some of the other stuff that I want to talk to you about. Now, this is going to fail, and it may fail literally on this particular instance. But what I want you to understand is that look at how many purple dots there were on this trend. There was just like 4 or 5, and before that, there was another 4 or 5. And all of those resolved. And that is what you need to keep in mind. It's not that the one fails, it's how many of them resolved that keeps you on the right side of the edge most of the time. That's literally what you want to keep in mind as you're trading. News. What's the news today? Dr. D, what's the news today on the I don't see any news today. Oh, consumer confidence. You're right. So I'm going to be eating my consumer confidence. I ran into the news today. I forgot this. It's not U of M. It's CB consumer confidence. Maybe this. We may eat this trade just because I ran into the news. You're right about that, Dr. D. But let's see. So 10 next 97, a little bit better. Did we get done? Yeah, it looks like we got done, right? Did we get done? Yeah, we did. We got done on this. I wasn't even watching this. We're watching the news. So that, buying the dip, I got lucky. As Yogi Berra says, it's always better to be lucky than good. I bought in front of news. News was mildly positive, so they gave us the pop right then and there. But the point isn't this particular one trade. It's the fact that you see this pattern, especially in the Dow, so many times, right? For those of you that don't necessarily want to trade NASDAQ, or maybe you have a $25,000 account for which the Dow is a much, much better trade than NASDAQ is because of lower, if you're trading a mini, you can't really trade a mini on a $25,000 account, but you can trade a mini Dow on a $25,000 account because it's a half value rather than a full value, right? 30-point stop on the Dow is $150. In a 80 tick stop on the Dow is $400. So it's a much, much larger variance. Yeah, Miguel says it's done. How am I determining my targets? Targets are just fixed. So Marl, one of the things you'll see is that in scalping, we don't give a shit about structure, support, resistance, anything else. The targets, we're just looking, the idea of scalping is what's the maximum risk I need to allow myself to give myself the maximum chance of hitting my target, right? So the target is always short because you're looking to just create positive target. You win through repetition and scalping rather than just by picking the perfect, long-term target, which is much harder, right? If you think about this, if you go back to the weather, you have to say, how many minutes back maximum do I need to go to predict with great degree of accuracy that the weather in the next 60 seconds is not going to rain, kind of a thing, That's sort of like what you're thinking about. It's a bad analogy, but you get the idea. It's a fixed target here. The thing that I like about the I don't want to even call it. I have a very PC name for these retrace trades. I call it trend value trades. Right? Doesn't that sound much better? The thing I like about doing the dot trend value trade, Jesus Christ, just kill me now, please. Is that you get you have a little bit better risk reward. Instead of going 3 to 1, you're actually 2.5 to 1. That makes a huge difference if you're doing frequency, because just even that half edge from 3 to 2.5 just adds so much more P&L to your bottom line. All right, let's take a little bit. There's nothing setting up. Let me just see if gold has any trades here. No, I got nothing here on gold. So gold is actually negative bid, meaning it just slipped into negative target, right? And what we want to do with gold is just give it time to breathe, because we need the first sell signal in gold, which would be a pause candle and a red candle. So this is a pause candle. If this next candle is a red dot candle, that would be a sell signal for us in gold. That would be our first entry. So we're on the first cross of the trend, the first momentum signal, the buy label, the sell label that you see on TradingView is the best trade. That's the highest probability trade of getting resolved. And then after that, it's the trend value trades. It's the retrace dots that you continue trading. And that's how you stay true to trend. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So here I actually do have so as I'm watching gold right now, guys, we actually are developing if this thing stays red with a triangle, our first sell entry in a downtrend. The short-term moving average is below the long-term moving average, and if I get a decline here, I'm going to watch gold with you guys for a little while here to see how it goes. And then I want to show you a few more things. Wow, man, today is flying, huh? I didn't. It's like already 10 o'clock. It's already 10:15. Holy shit! It's a lot of fun when you're trading trend, huh? I think it's time for a new song for us to do. You guys having a good time today? I hope you guys liked the session. I really liked just focusing on one side of the market, so that you can really zero. It's like practicing a single stroke in tennis. Like today, we're going to just practice our forehand until it's killer, until it's better than Sinner and Alcaraz put together. Thank you, Micheline. So nice to have the compliments. You see, like all the people who are like been here forever, they don't give a shit. They take me for granted, just like my children do. No, I'm just kidding. I was playing it, Kevin. I was playing it. I was playing the intro song. You want me to play it again? Here, hold on. I'll play it for you. I think I'm going to make a new one too. I think we need to make a new one. You guys hear it, by the way? You heard it, right? I think we need a Barry White version. All right, so gold didn't do anything. Gold is kind of putzing around. Here is NAS on a purple trade. So let's just kind of watching this also goes away. Everything is really, really quiet. Like I hope you guys like how low is the volatility been? It's really been amazing if you think about this. We're trading 20-point ranges for like an hour in what is normally a 1 minute type of a time frame. Like the volatility is just dead. Look at this. Yes, we had a dip and a rip, but then after that, it's kind of really, really dead, right? 23, 24 seconds left here. I'm going to try and work the NASDAQ trade. 28, 40, if this purple dot holds. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. Where am I in? 99, 35, 40, 55. You know what? I'm just going to take this profit. I'm not going to take the full profit because again, actually that worked fine. Yeah, look at that. That worked really, really nicely. I could have taken, the bigger profit. I hope some of you guys took the bigger profit. But I took a small profit just because I've been trying to show this to you, to everybody who's in the room. So yeah, look at this. Now I start to see. So if you're looking at there's 31%, third of the room doesn't have an Apex account. And here's why I want you to follow me for a second. So I'm going to show you my personal Apex account, right? We have corporate accounts because obviously they're partners of ours. And that's all bullshit. I actually pay for my own accounts, just like you guys do, because I'm a huge believer, unlike all the other fucking bullshit YouTube influencers who don't ever put their own money on the line, that if I don't trade in the exact same environment as you do, if I don't participate in the exact same environment as you do, everything I tell you is bullshit, right? Like it's not real. I don't know if have you guys like heard about the controversy with Tory Trades and all the other shit about, how she claims she made $250,000 on 12 trades and never once showed an actual statement. Never once, shows live. And I heard she blew up like every fucking account she ever traded. So the cool thing about trading here, and this is why I bring as many of your friends as possible. And if you follow other people, introduce them to us. Like literally everything we do is the same thing as you do. I don't lie about anything because you see that's why I curse so much because, I don't, I show you real life. I don't show you bullshit, pretty edited life of past. My other favorite thing of everybody who pretends that they trade is, oh, let me show you what I did. I don't give a shit what you did. I can trade the past better than you can trade the past. Show me what you're going to do, which is what I always try to show you. But anyways, enough of my ranting. We're going to go to Apex Trader Funding. Now, Apex put in a like a little authentication, so just bear with me a sec. Where the fuck is my thing? I got to put in my password for 1 second. But once you clear the authenticator, and they'll probably ask you to enable the authenticator because it's really good. It's a very good way of making sure that your oh shit, it just changed. Sorry, what happened here? Really? Wait, hold on. Oh, I put the wrong number. Okay, sorry. Give me just 1 second. It's just changing. 863-971. 863-971. Confirm. Okay. So I'm in Apex Trader Funding. And with Apex Trader Funding, the very cool thing about trading with us is you can either get wealth charts. And I really recommend, and 25 is a good account if you're going to trade the YM, and 50 is a good account if you're going to trade NASDAQ. So let's just assume we're going to trade YM on wealth charts, right? All you need to do is just put in this code, BKSAVE, right? BKSAVE. Make sure you put in this code because that will give you the absolute greatest discount. And if you don't have that code, you're going to pay full price. You click here, you hit next, and wealth charts is actually a little cheaper. It's actually cheaper than Tradeovate. So it's only $29 for a $25,000 account. And you put your credit card in. The cool thing is also, if you buy it and either you haven't fully funded your account, like it hasn't reached target in a month, or you blew up your account and then you're just hanging out waiting for it to renew, it will not renew at its full price. It will renew at this price. So once you lock in this price and you want to have a couple of demo accounts that you're then going to be able to use for funding, you can just keep going like this. And I used to kind of cancel them. The moment I blew them out, I canceled them. But now when I have the 80s or the bigger discounts, I keep them on board because they renew at a very cheap price. And then I have lots of new funded accounts for me to work with. So that's wealth charts. And if you go to Tradeovate, let's just do the $50,000 account. You do the exact same thing. You just simply say BKSAVE. And you say, please check this box, blah, blah, blah. Now, the $50,000, I think, is going to be $37. Yeah, $37. Definitely a great deal. Just an absolutely great deal, right? And if you're trading it the way I'm trading stuff now, very measured, very controlled, very much entry stuff, you should be able to really nurse that account well. You should be able to totally run that account now. It's like, for example, this is a 50,000 account that I just started. Oh shit, it's at 800 already. Wow. It was at 400 when I started with you guys this morning. But I just started yesterday. They just kind of renewed. So, my approach, and we talk about this in coaching all the time, is I want to be trading multiple accounts all the time because one, it eliminates the possibility of blowing them up. If I have a bad trade in this account, I instantaneously go to a new account, fresh account. What that does is just one bad trade doesn't blow up. What happens inevitably in everybody who fails the tests is they either make a mistake or they just get a legitimate stop loss and they keep banging the same account. And that triggers, we talked about this, we'll talk about this in coaching a lot more, the absolutely uncontrollable dopamine reward circuit for you where you are chasing to win. The greatest way to kind of eliminate the addiction is to go from to a new account, fresh account that doesn't have any of that emotional baggage attached to it, and trade the next setup there. Doing that really, really minimizes your chance of blow up. And it's got nothing to do with trading strategy and everything to do with psychology, which is far more important than any trading strategy that you're doing, right? Oh, Rick. Thank you so much. I love that line. That's such a nice line. All right, I gotta actually, I'm saving that line. That's funny. That's like literally great line. I'm saving that clip because that's hilarious. That is fucking funny. Thank you, Rick. That goes to my testimonial bank. All right, we got no trades right now. I got nothing going on here, so it's kind of quiet. NQ is done. Oh shit! Did I not take this NQ? Oh no, I did take it, but I took it short. Miguel just banged it. By the way, Miguel, I just want to tell you, Miguel has been trading with me forever, and nobody trades my ideas better than Miguel. Like Miguel, I do about 10% of the possibility of my trade ideas, and Miguel does like 90%. Everything I ever come up with, he does so much better a job at executing. So he's worth a listen to. He really understands how to make these things work. Okay, so where are we at now? Again, we're in trend condition, right? And now we're in that momentum trend structure, which is, we have a buy signal here on NAS, buy signal here on Dow. I'm trying to figure out, which one. We can only take one at a time because it's really, maybe we'll take the Dow. Dow's been kind of a stronger trend. So I know that my greatest conflict is, do I trade the buy entry, the momentum entry, the label entry? Look at this. The buy goes away on the Dow with a single structure or a double structure. And my general view is that I should trade it on a single structure, meaning that I don't average into the buy trade the same way I would into a trend value trade, into a purple dot trade, only because buy is one of those kind of things that's very, very we're gonna trade this on the Dow. Buy is a momentum is one of those kind of very, very binary things. So I'm in this trade. What I mean by binary is it either works or it doesn't. You really can't repair momentum trades because you're buying already at a high. The repair point that you're coming in and it is not really a great repair point. And you kind of have to just sort of trust that it's either going to work on a momentum basis or not. The premise that we have on momentum trades is that the first momentum trade, in this case, this is the first momentum trade in an upward momentum move, in an upward momentum structure, is the highest probability of success. We'll see if that's true, but generally it is. Generally it is. The best signal is the first signal. The first cut is the deepest. Come on, baby. Let's go up there. Let's see if it can hit me. 60, 70, 85. All right, you know what? I'm gonna take it again. I'm just gonna take. I don't need to take the full trade because I'm on a momentum side. The target here actually would have been what did I come in here? And it would have gone to target. I think all you guys who hung in there probably hit target. That's great. The point being is that I think momentum is a single entry trade, whereas a retrace, because of its value proposition, is a double entry trade, right? I'm interested in what you guys think about that. Yeah, I was trading the NAS, so I'm ignoring the purple dot in the Dow right now. Miguel, we're gonna just let that trade go. I'm actually curious to see where gold is at. Okay, so gold now is interesting. Gold is negative. We missed our little momentum trade. But let's see. Okay, let's play this game here. We're gonna trade the retrace trade. So gold is we sold the retrace move. This is a white dot in a negative trend, right? We're going to add to gold if it works. We're at 26, 21.8 is our gold gets done. So again, gold is just a really beautiful retrace trade most of the time. You see this, I know it's very, very fast for you guys, but this was negative trend, white dot. We sold the high, boom, retraced out, didn't have to add anything to it. It just, kept growing on the gold side. So good. Everything, everything is working well on all these trades. And even, this momentum trade, if I'm long here, it was 21, we had 28 as our target. It went to 29. It did resolve. Yes, I am. That's what I'm doing. Today what we're doing, Santiago, is we're only trading trend. Just 50 different varieties of trend. We're only buyers when the short term is over the long term, and we're only sellers like we were here when the short term is under the long term, right? And we're just looking for intelligent entries using our dot system, right? So Miguel, I don't know if you're trading this trade, but we're in at 67. I think it probably stopped you out, right? Because I think if you gave 30 stops, you bought 37, you bought 47, you just didn't have enough. It just may have ticked you out. And that, by the way, is a question I have. You remember what I did with the with a Dow, with the NASDAQ? I extended it from 15 to 20 because I realized that the retrace trades need breathing room. They really, really need breathing room. Momentum trades kind of either work or don't work. I don't think they need that much breathing room, but retrace trades need a little bit of breathing room. So probably, and I'm just thinking about this, if it's a 125% on NASDAQ, 30, what would be the proper stop on this? 30 times 1.25. It's about, I guess it would be a 38 points, 38 tick stop. And again, if I'm doing 38 divided by 2.5, and about a 15 pip target, 15 tick target. So I guess the really correct way for us to trade the Dow would be a 38 stop with a 15 target for for the risk reward ratios that match the NASDAQ. And if you'd done that, by the way, interestingly enough, if you did this and you bought the 68s, so that the bottom was 28, and then you bought the 53s, you would have totally, that would have resolved. I'm actually, Miguel, did you trade that trade or no? I'm just curious. You probably traded it and you probably did resolve it because you were trading better than me. But I think if you sort of look at the ratios as I'm thinking this through, the YM should really be a 15. Let's make it 1540, just to keep it clean, or 1440 if you want to just keep it really, really clean on targets, and that will give you the right risk reward mix that you would get with NQ. Right. What are you trading? So Miguel, can you share with us stops targets that you're kind of using? I'm curious if you're doing something a little more intelligent than what I'm doing. Or did you just get a really good execution? You just bought better entry, and you just did a 1030 entry. I think generally though with the Dow, it should be like a 14 tick 40 point stop at around a 2.5 risk reward ratio to match the structures of NQ. So you did a 1030, but you just got a good execution on it. You didn't get stopped out. Because if you would have just been nicked out. If you bought the 67, the low here would have been 37, and what's the low here? 35. 35 was the low. You would have been just ticked out by 2 ticks. So you must have bought like in the 50s or something. Oh, so you're actually using no 1440 divide 14. No, sorry, 40 divided by 14 is 2.85. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite 2.5, but 2.85. Just think about it the other way, Marl. Multiply 14 times 3. Okay, that's 42, right? So 3 to 1 already beats the 40. So it's a little bit less than 3. You see how you do that? You just do it inversely. Anyways, hey, the momentum trade worked nicely on NAS. That worked really, really good. The retrace trade also would have worked, but I think we need a little bit better structures. I'll leave it to you guys, to play around. No, for MNQ is okay. I think the MNQ is fine. You can trade 25 with MNQ for sure. But if you this was my point about the large contracts. Oh look, the Dow is giving us another purple trade. I'm actually curious. Let's do trade. I want to set this up. No, I want to do this. Take profit 14, stop loss 40, just to keep it even. And we're going to go save order deposit 14 by 40. So I'm saving this for the Dow. It's kind of like my my structure for this trade. Again, I want to repeat this. When you're thinking about these trades, you have to appreciate that this was a winner, this was a winner, this was a winner, this was a winner, and even this was a winner on the proper structures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Talking about 5 winners, in a row against a 2.85 structure, right? So that's a three winners against 3-1 structure is even money. 2.85 against 5 is much better. Okay, let's buy this. Shit, I'm on the wrong side. 1440. Okay, I'm buying this. Okay, so I'm in on this trade. Where the fuck am I in though? This is what I'm trying to find out. 53, and I want to. My stop is at 14, right? So my stop is at 14. 314. The only problem is I always get myself confused as to where my entry is. Let's go into the DOM and let's see where I'm in. I'm in at 53. This helps me. This is one thing about Tradeovate that it's not very good about this. So if I'm buying, so I want to be buying 40 basically. The next trade that I want to be buying is going to be 40 if this doesn't work. And keep my stop at around 14. I just missed the entry. Okay. All right, 40. I'm in at 4. Stop over here. And let's move the target right over here. And let's see if we can resolve it. Let's see if I can resolve this trade. And I'm at 54 on my structure. Let's see if I can get to 54. $52. $54. Come on. Do me. Just missed me on the offer. I think it did. No, it did me one. I need to do my second one. Well, and that's nature of the beast. 54, 52. All right, you know what? I'm going to flatten out. Okay, and I resolved it. The point is, you want to resolve this trade. And, and doing it this way, again, I just resolved the trade. I knew this was going to be weak. Remember, the other thing is you want to keep in mind is the longer it goes, the more likely it's gonna drop, right? The 6th or the 7th retrace trade is a much lower probability trade than the 1st through the 3rd, because the trend, like everything else, gets tired. Once the trend gets tired, you're gonna have a much lower chance of success. So, anyways, this got resolved. I think this is the right. I really like the structure of the 1440 because it does give you wide enough volatility exits to be able to resolve it, but not so wide that it's going to be hard to take the profits. All of this works. Let me see where I'm at. I'm at 872, which is fine. Nice. Giving a third of my way towards getting funded effectively on a very, very leisurely trade. No, it doesn't really matter. I'm looking at it for the dot. I'm looking for the dot because I'm looking for the I'm looking just basically for the value proposition. It probably does help if it's if it's a red, but there are examples where it's a green one. I'm trying to see if I can find you a good one. You're right. I mean, Nico is actually right. It probably is best. Yeah, I guess you're right. Although, you could have picked, I mean, again, a lot of that, Nico, Asia session is always going to give us like kind of bullshit trades, right? I'm just trying to find, just going through the Dow to find, this is all negative trades. I can't find any positive trades here. Oh man, it's all negative trades here. So I can't find them. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you may be right. Although this, buying the green here, but again, this is like 148. I think you're probably right. If you want to be a little bit more cautious than not, you'll really want to buy the purple trade on a red candle, meaning that it's below the moving average, and you kind of buying the dip. But it's not a deal killer if it's not. Although all the ones that worked were all reds, right? You can see this in the chart. They were all reds. That's right. Trend gets tired. Don't get fired. Don't get fired like Lisa Cook. So we didn't talk about Lisa Cook and the craziness of this of the Fed. So, and by the way, look at this. Here we go. We get a little bit of a retrace trade in a NAS, right? Pretty good, strong trend. Again, this would be like the 3rd or the 4th purple trade in a cycle. And I'll leave it to you to decide, hey, do I want to trade this in a cycle or not? First of all, it's got to actually give us a purple trade. Nope, it doesn't go away. Cycle stays strong. Wow, it's really, really, really pumping. Okay, we'll leave it alone. No signal on this. Alan, my rule of thumb, honestly, is here's when I exit early. If I made a bad execution, in other words, if my entry was not perfect but late, right? That means I'm already at a disadvantage, and whatever profit I have, I just take it. So, like, I think the number one good reason to exit early is when your execution is poor, which happens a lot because you're busy, you're late, you're just reacting, so on and so forth. That's number one reason. Number two reason when to exit early is if you have something else to do or somebody is requiring your attention, because the key to trading this well is good focus, right? So both of those really don't have much to do with a setup, but they're very important because, as we all know, we don't create perfect executions, right? We're very often very flawed. So you want to have that backup plan on that. And number three, when you want to exit early, is if you are fronting the news, right? If you're just in front of the news, target hasn't hit, and you're just at a volatility breakout. Okay, and let's give you one a number 4. And number 4, when you want to exit early, is if you are very, very deep in the trend. If you've already made 5 or 6 or 7 winning trades in a row, and you're just basically tempting fate. At that point, the probability of you making 10 trades, consecutive trades, remember, the more consecutive trades you win, it isn't like a 50-50 coin. The probability diminishes. The conditional probability diminishes. This is real life, not bullshit statistics that they teach you in artificial gambling school. Everything is action response in the market. And the more action you get on one side, the more it's going to invite a counter response, right? You have to go, again, back to neurobiology. Everything in our brain is designed to balance pleasure and pain, which are both coming from the same circuit. And there literally is once you experience too much pleasure, the brain automatically creates a pain circuit for you. A dopamine control circuit versus a dopamine reward circuit. And conversely, when you have too much pain, you're always looking for greater reward. So that function is just express itself all the time in market prices, which are nothing but psychological expressions of human behavior. So that's why 10 winners in a row, you may want to exit early on that position. So those are the things when you might want to exit early, right? Does that make sense? Oh, guys, I got about 2 minutes to hang out with you guys. Yeah? Nobody ever said that before? I mean, it's actually a great question, and I've never thought about it. So, I'm really glad you guys asked me all these questions because it really focuses my mind on the answers. A lot of these things are very instinctual for me, so I don't really express them, but it definitely focuses my mind on this. All right, what we're gonna do? Since I gotta go, we're gonna play the game like a bunch of pussies. Shit, come on. 28. This. I'm a buyer of this on a micro level. Again, we're just gonna. So this is again, I want to show you the mechanics of the setup. It's also a very late setup, and I don't want to take the full size on this thing. So what we're going to do is we bought the 30s. No, we bought the 20s. We bought the 30s. Sorry, we bought the 30s. If it goes down to 20s, we're going to buy more, and we're exiting at 37. Actually, if it goes down 23, we just want to buy underneath the level of where we bought. So target is 7. If it's 7 under, we're gonna buy it. So if we bought the 30s, if it gets down to 23s, we're gonna try and buy it again and see if we can resolve this trade. But don't buy it too early. Don't make that mistake of it's close to 23. No, it's better to buy worse on your second entry, or it's better not to buy at all than to buy early in the second. The second entry's whole function is to be able to give you a really good blended price. There's no point of doubling up on price that's not as favorable as you want it to be, right? So that's the other technique of this. It's kind of easier to see that, and I actually recommend you guys practice this on MNQs as just the mechanics of the trade, right? So it's 24, 22. All right, so I'm in. This is as good as I could get it, right? So now I'm going to put my target over here. Put my stop underneath here, and let's see if we can work this thing out. If this thing is going to bounce back, or this is the waterfall that begins the decline. Let's see. So I'm at 26. I think I'm at 26. And all my exits are at 31. I'm actually I gotta say, the thing that I hate about TradingView is a beautiful charting platform. It's just the shittiest trade management platform there is. All right, whatever. I can't do it. For those of you guys who are serious, let me show you the serious way of doing this, right? So let's go to TradeEvade, because remember, this is your TradeEvade account. It's just connected to TradingView. So if you really kind of want to manage this seriously, none of this fucking Mickey Mouse bullshit trading, I'm going to be in TradingView. Which account am I in? Shit. Is it 27? 20. Let me see what account I'm in. Hold on. Connect. I'm in 27. Okay, so we're going to go to 27, right? And I want to go to, where's my 27s? Why am I not in? Oh, did I get done? What happened to my account? Oh, I got done. Fuck, never mind. I got done on the whole trade. Anyways, I got done. Sorry, guys. Well, I was dicking around. What I was going to say is, if you really want to, seriously control your stops and targets, of course, the TradingView platform, just like the Wealth Charts platform, which I absolutely love, those are hard-coded, well-built platforms that they're really, really, really good. All right, one last time, we're positive bid, purple button. Let's buy gold here, over here, and we'll play gold one more time here. Although gold dipped very, very hard against us, but okay, we're coming in late, but at a value proposition. I'm at 22.3, right? Here's what I was going to say. Here's the cool part about wealth charts. You see how with wealth charts, you could actually move this shit around and get yourself done very, very fast because the ladder really, really works. Good platform. Love wealth charts. Highly recommend you guys do it. It's a little bit cheaper than TradeEvade, but they both are really good. Obviously, all of our bells and whistles are on TradingView, so you get to see visually. It's a little bit better, but trading-wise, wealth charts definitely better. All right. Any final questions? Look at this. We hit every fucking trade today. That's my motto of the day today. I hit every fucking trade. There literally was no stop outs today, guys, with this approach. Two things we did. We traded trend only. We traded momentum at single entry, and we traded trend value, quote unquote, at double entry, right? And that was fun. And it really, really worked, right? Miguel, did you trade the NQ? Did you buy the purples in NQ? Don't worry, Ben. Anytime I show you a new approach, it always takes a couple of days to get comfortable in it. And the best way to get comfortable is by watching it, right? So guys who've been in the room forever kind of intuitively understand what I'm doing. If you're new, just come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is marathon day. I'm going to do 1,000 of those things, okay? But once you begin to understand momentum, retrace, probability constraints, all of those things, it all becomes just kind of different variations of the same thing. And this is a really good variation. How many points did NQ fall before additional buy? So I'm looking. In NQ, my target is 7, right? So I'm looking for it to buy a simple rule of thumb, so that it just makes it easy to remember. You can make it 10, but I like to just simply use, what is my target? 7. So if it falls 7, I'm a buyer at 7, right? Then I basically resolve at my initial entry. Same thing with Dow. Dow is a 14 target. If it falls 14, I'm buying 14, and my resolve is at the initial entry. All I want to do is get back to initial entry. Once I get back to initial entry, the probability of success kind of, increases quite a lot. It maybe buys me an extra 10 percentage points of probability, which is huge in terms of, it turns trades that are 5 out of 6 into trades that are 8 out of 9, right? And if you can be 8 out of 9, you're just in a much, much greater space. I mean, as you can see, I started the account at 5.4 today. It's almost 59. I did $500 with you guys today without, fucking up, trading lots of different instruments, different sizes, explaining shit, not really focusing, right? And I still managed to do $500 in about an hour and a half. So you really, you got to give props to the idea, because the most important part is we traded trend only. We traded only the first breakout if it was a momentum. We traded just one single entry on momentum. And then we traded the retraces only when they were within trend, and we doubled up on our retraces if need be. Right? Yeah, everything is on the close. Yeah, good. You like it. You like it, Andy. Very good. Yeah, LTPs and stops are pulled together. That's exactly it. You see me, Peter? You see how I was pulling the stops? Watch this on review, guys. Watch it on rewind, because I know it's kind of very, very fast. But watch it on rewind, and what you'll see me is I'm putting the take profits together and I'm putting the stops together. So that creates a super. It creates a much better P&L structure, basically, for me. That's what it does. That's what I was talking about. So the whole idea is the worst I'm at is 3-to-1 on a risk reward. But when I'm blending it, I can get it down to 2.5-to-1, which is a really great edge over hundreds and hundreds of trades. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, guys. Listen, marathon. We're going to do marathon. We're going to do this 1,000 times. We're going to repeat the trend-only structures tomorrow. Gloria, how was your day today? Did you have a good day today on this? I'm curious, how everybody else traded in the room. So sorry, guys. There's no. I meant to tell you, there's no nighttime sessions this whole week because we have a very special webinar. All of you guys know. Kay's been. If you guys are on the Twitter platform, if you haven't registered now, you should definitely absolutely register. We have a big webinar tonight, and then tomorrow night, everybody, all the girls are coming back from Florida, so I don't have a. So there's no Asia trade this week. It's kind of like final week of August, so we have to take a little time off. So here it is. Where's Kathy's? Blah blah blah. Oh my God, she's doing so much. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to put this link in here for you guys to register. This is the webinar tonight. It's going to be really a lot of fun. Everybody come watch. These guys are amazing. Oh God. Sorry, I'm just trying to copy this. Copy link address. Why can't I do this? There we go. Oh, that's the best. Actually, it's the best comment of the day. Because I said to you, winning is easy. Making up losses is what really, really makes you a good trader. Good job, Chris. Excellent. I'm so glad that worked for you. That's really the best comment of the day. With that, I'm going to leave you. Sandy, I'm setting you up right now. And everybody else, go out there, get the Apex accounts right now. Be sure to get those and get my coaching if you want. Okay? Here's the coaching link. Thank you, guys. I see everybody from Marathon tomorrow. Enjoy.